What's up, guys? Chase fan number 9 here, and I want to talk about last Saturday's race at Kentucky, the Quaker State 400. Um, without further ado, I guess let's get into it, shall we? So, Kentucky happened last week. It was a pretty interesting race, but that finish, man, oh my god! But we'll talk about that later. But first of all, I want to get some other stuff out of the way. Lewis Hamilton won the British Grand Prix. It was just your typical one. So, Pagenaud dominated at Toronto in the IndyCar race. If you haven't seen the reaction, go check it out. I'm not surprised that Pagenaud dominated because he had the car to beat all day. My other two favorite drivers, Rossi and Andretti, who are both Honda guys, they both finished great. Rossi got third, and Andretti finished 10th thanks to Will Power crashing while running in ninth on the last lap, causing a full course yellow. So, congrats to Pagenaud, and Will Power helped his teammate benefit his teammate there. But anyway, without further, let's get into Kentucky. So Kentucky happened. That PJ one they put down in the turns, it made the race pretty interesting, especially the fact that this is their first time racing there with this aero package. So yeah, it made things pretty interesting. So anyways, let's get into it. So Daniel Suarez started on the pole, and he led for a good first portion of the race. I'm surprised he managed to keep Almirola and Harvick behind him, especially with the fact that they were running 1, 2, 3, and they couldn't even catch. They couldn't even get around Suarez, I should say. So that made things very interesting. They led until a bunch of green flag pit stops, and then Chase Elliott had a tire go down and instigate a yellow. So that was unfortunate for my favorite driver, but we got our win. But I'm curious to see what race he'll win next. So that unfortunately happened. Then next thing I know, Kurt Busch is up front. It was cool to see Kurt Busch leading for once. It's been a while. And he was up there with Ricky Stenhouse. And Ryan Newman, the Roush Fenway guys, showed speed this week. Ryan Newman coming off a string of good finishes, starting off with that top 10 finishes at Michigan, Sonoma, and the top 5 last Saturday at Daytona. So, yeah. So that made things pretty interesting. And keep in mind, Daniel Suarez is as of now, Daniel Suarez is currently 18th as of this recording. So Daniel Suarez still has a lot left. And then Kyle Busch started coming up through the field. For Ryan Newman, he failed post-race and pre-race inspection and to start 35th. So to give credit to those guys for bringing his team up there. Yeah, but anyways, after the Chase Elliott caution, we had two more, one for the 32 and one for the 00 and the 51. So that was, and then we had a 14-lap run to the end of stage 1. I'm surprised Kurt Busch managed to hold everyone off despite taking no tires on one of those stops. It's interesting. Some notable drivers that got points were Stenhouse, Hemrick, Truex, Menard, Logano, Eric Jones, and Austin Dillon were running up there. Boyer, Larson, Kurt Busch, Ryan Blaney. Menard got points again, so that was pretty good. Yeah, so that was pretty good. Pretty good. Kurt Busch won the stage. This is Kurt's first stage win of the season. By this point, last season, he had like 2 or 3 stage wins, so it's pretty good. And also, so Austin Dillon, he was running up in second or third up there and was battling. I think he was battling Ricky Stenhouse for the lead, but I don't know what happened to him because Dillon went to the garage and I don't even know what happened. I think something happened underneath the hood. Maybe it's just me. But anyways, so Kurt won stage 1. Stage 2 happened, and it was a caution-free race. Kyle Busch won that stage. And another driver that was coming through the field was Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer had an interesting night. He was poised to be the he was one of the notable drivers to look out for, because if I go back to last week's race, last week at Daytona, Clint Boyer was 15th in the standings, and even the playoff standings show that he was 15th in the standings. But anyways, yeah, most of the guys who led laps tonight, most of them finished in the top 10, so that was pretty good. Yeah, Stenhouse, he finished 12th in the race, so at least it was a good race for him. So, yeah. Then stage 3 happened. We were having great battles all over the track, and I thought everything was good. And then, next thing I know, Jimmy Johnson crashed. Don't worry, everyone. Jimmy 48 fan, that includes you. I know it was a surprise that he crashed, but Kentucky's not easy, especially with the repave and the PJ1. Besides, I think Johnson needs to do some work with this track. As far as Hendrick's concerned, they pretty much struggled the whole night, and so that was unfortunate. And then as Clint Boyer, at one point, William Byron was up in the top 2, and he and Boyer were on the front row. And now here's where it gets controversial. So what happened on the restart after Johnson's wreck was, Boyer was up front, Byron was up there. William Byron supposedly accelerated ahead of Boyer before they got to the restart zone, and apparently they penalized him. And I was appalled by it. I'm like, that looked fucking stupid. But you just fucked over Byron's run. Thought we were gonna have 3 straight first-time winners. Well, that apparently didn't happen. But anyways, yeah, Byron finished 18th, Bowman 17th. So that was pretty fun. And also, Daniel Hemrick and Kevin Harvick had great starting spots. They both started 5th and 6th. Austin Dillon started 9th. So that was pretty good. So, yeah. Then, after Johnson's crash, we went back racing, and we had green flag pit stops. Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch were doing their usual battles, and Clint Boyer led some. Yeah, Boyer led for a good portion until lap 201. He led lap 164 to 201, so he led 38 straight laps. Then Kurt Busch took over, and he brought his brother Kyle with him. They had intense battles. There were times where Kyle Busch would get underneath Kurt but couldn't get around him, or was it the other way around? Don't know. Then inside of lap 225, like inside of 50 laps ago, we had green flag pit stops. We had drivers coming in. So we had drivers stay out and play a different strategy. Yeah, strategy comes into factor when it comes to these types of races. So that was pretty interesting. Ryan Newman, he led for 50 laps, and he had to pit. Boyer and Kurt Busch, I think they pitted way too early. If they pitted 1 lap later, I think they would have came out with the lead, but that was pretty unfortunate. But that's just how it is. Everything's cycle around. Next thing I know, Logano and Busch were battling for the lead, and Kyle Busch and Logano, we all know they had history from before, specifically Las Vegas 2017. That was a cool fight, okay? But anyways, but here we are today, and they had an interesting battle. Saw Kyle Busch and Logano pull off a crossovers. Logano did a slide job and managed to get away from him, and Logano was pulling. I know Logano's never won Kentucky, but if Logano or Busch had won this race, I wasn't going to even bother doing the race review or even posting a react. I was just like, fuck it, move on to New Hampshire. But anyway, just when I thought it was totally over, and I thought it was totally over, but with 7 laps to go, that changed instantly. Bubba Wallace blew a tire and spun in turn 2, therefore triggering caution. And that set up for an interesting finish. Yeah, this race had 7 cautions, surprisingly. And, yeah, so, yeah, alright, were drivers going to stay out or drivers going to pit? Yeah, I had no clue what they were going to do, but, yeah, so, And then we get to the restart, and this is where it gets pretty wild. And if you see my reaction video, it's pretty interesting. But yeah. But anyways, we get to the restart, and oh my god, that restart was intense. Larson and Logano made it. Eric Jones made it 3 wide going into turn 1. They screwed Logano out of the lead, and yeah, there's no room on the track, especially going into the turns. You're basically gonna have your wheels on the apron. So yeah, they were 3 wide going down back and into turns 3, and wow, that was wild. Kurt Busch was up high, Kyle was down low, and Eric Jones managed to back off for once, and they. Kurt Busch and Kyle Busch, they were putting on a drag race coming to the white flag. And there were times where I thought Kyle Busch had the advantage, but I know Kurt Busch wasn't going to give up. But anyways, yeah. So Kurt Busch, yeah, he managed to gain the advantage. I was just getting my thoughts there, but anyway, Kurt Busch got the advantage coming off 4, and with that, Kurt Busch holds off younger brother Kyle to win the 2019 Quaker State 400 Kentucky, scoring his first win this season, 4th win for Chevrolet, and after 9 years of trying, 9 years of frustration, Chevrolet finally wins Kentucky. They had so many chances in the past, but shit happened. But that wasn't gonna happen. Kurt Busch did it. And for the second time, I get to see the Monster Energy paint scheme win. He did it last year at Bristol in the 41. And for the 3rd time, dating back to 2015, the Busch brothers, I get to see the Busch brothers finish 1-2, but this time with Kurt over Kyle. So Kurt 1, Kyle 0. So suck it, Busch. Alright, haha, suck it. Do you have any idea what it takes to hold off Kyle Busch on an intense restart like that at a track like Kentucky? Not easy. But anyways, that was your finish. So anyways, let's go over the results. So Kurt Busch wins the race. Kyle Busch finishes 2nd. Eric Jones managed to finish 3rd. There were lots of comers and goers in the race, and this is one of those comers. Kyle Larson got a good finish. Surprisingly, I'm surprised he finished 4th. Denny Hamlin got 5th, so good run for him. Boyer, who was potential favorite to win the race, finished 6th. Logano got dicked down to 7th. Daniel Suarez, who started on pole and led 52 laps, finished 8th, so great recovery for him. Ryan Newman's streak of good finishes continued. He finished 9th, and Chris Buescher 10th in that Planters Peanuts car. Damn, I like that car. Paul Menard 11th. Let's get off some other notable drivers that finished different position. Menard 11th, Stenhouse 12th, Blaney 13th, Almirola 14th, Chase Elliott 15th, Alex Bowman, Byron both 17th, 18th. Truex, who we thought was going to be the favorite tonight, finished 19th. Brad Keselowski 20th. Almirola unfortunately finished 14th, which sucks. Kevin Harvick 22nd. This is another track that he needs to win it. Hamrick 24th, and Jimmy Johnson finished 30th. So that was I would give this race, now looking back, I would give this race a 9 out of 10. One of those reasons is because of how the race was in the beginning, but the finish was exciting. And yeah, so my question is can Chevrolet keep up their winning streak? Because they had 1 win by this point last year, but look now, they have 4 wins this season. They're getting their shit together. Still have hopes up for drivers like Jimmy Johnson, Larson. We're coming up to Loudon. It's one of their better tracks. Let's see how that goes. And I guess that's pretty much it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell down below to get notifications from my videos. And with that, we'll see you in New Hampshire, folks. Until then, have a good one. Goodbye, everybody.